What's up, my little Tattle Tells? Listen, as you can tell, your girl is back and I'm catching up on all the gossip. If you want to know where I was, go ahead and watch my live. I explain everything, but let's get into this because we got to talk about what's going on with Kanye West. Y'all, I just caught up on everything going on with Kanye West. And I'm of two minds, right? I've already gone into things about how I think he's an idiot and wrong. And we talk about the way Kanye really messed up a bag and not the $2 billion or $50 billion, however much, he literally lost trying to burn the village down. Can we talk about how Kanye actually had evidence of real wrongdoing against him on a Britney Spears level? You could have taken the evidence you had with a scalpel, like precision, and gone against these 5 people that were really going against you. Instead, it's like Kanye still doesn't understand what he has. He still doesn't understand what he has. Let me start off, right? And pull the receipts about how this is crazy. And I even remember there's a video going around YouTube about the attempted conservatorship of Kanye West. And I used to always be like, maybe, but how do you have the same people that did this still around you? Y'all, I'm jumping the gun. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let's go to the tweet that started me down the rabbit hole, okay? Kanye literally said, now this is the message. Listen, what should be obvious by now is that I was raised to stand for my truth, which admittedly he does. Now, I think some of his truth is a bunch of, but he stands for it regardless of the consequences. I take issue with that too, because baby, I didn't think you thought these consequences were coming down. But get this, here's the part when I'm like, do you see what you're sitting on? So I'll say this again. I was mentally misdiagnosed and nearly drugged out of my mind to make me a manageable, well-behaved celebrity. And he posted a screenshot of that nefarious trainer that said, I'm going to help you one of a couple of ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words. That's what you're talking to, you MF. Telling another adult that works for me, I don't use cuss words. And everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you. She talking about Candace Owens. She's not dumb, but you know. Or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. Now that was the message. That was the message that could have easily made him the new Britney Spears. Nah, because when Britney Spears was going through it, right? She didn't have the people behind her. We didn't know what we knew about mental health, abusive mental health, conservatorship. Britney Spears put all that stuff on the map for at least myself. You know, before that, I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't pay attention to it. You could have become the next Britney Spears, not Britney Spears under the conservatorship, but Britney Spears when she had the public support behind her. And listen, and had people not only believe in you, but fight behind you that you weren't really crazy and you were done wrong. But instead, what do you use it for? Instead, you took those tweets, not tweets, the messages of this trainer, nefarious activity, illegal, all this stuff, and you use it to defend Kyrie Irving. Y'all, what am I talking about? He then posted something, said, I was told that if I exposed the truth of bad business practices, everything was going to be taken away from me, including my children, my Black children. Now, to which pause, because I just got to say, we fact checking on both sides. I remember the article when Kanye and Kim were mad that I think one of North's teachers told her she was Black during Black History Month. Now they Black children. But let's continue, because again, even a broken clock is right twice a year. And everyone is bore what I think it's supposed to be whiteness to the, okay. But God has put something on my heart not to be broken. This shows hardly admitting to knowing the truth of our origin, but then later dismissing facts within the same text chain. Mind you, this is how a Hollywood trainer speaks to a far more influential Black celebrity when we get out of line. No, Kanye, that's the way the mofo you hired to be your trainer and you had sticking beside your side decides to talk to you as a Black celebrity because those were your choices. I just want to point that out. But in this, these circles, you're hardly saying your origins might be Jewish, but it's about how you act, how you think, how you treat others. I will definitely do anything if you could please apologize to my people. They said, then he says stuff about not some crazy stuff. Okay, so let's look at these Easter eggs and let's unpack this because y'all, this is actually something really big. You did all this, showed real wrongdoing, all to defend Kyrie Irving about who were the original Jewish people against a Hollywood trainer. You are going to war against someone that anybody can hire to stand over them and knock the pumpkin pie out of your hands and tell you to do sit-ups. And you're arguing about with that nobody about whether Black people originated it. I can't, but there's more to this. There's more to this because you guys, we have to talk about this. This goes back to Kanye being committed in 2016. What happened. But I will say the TMZ coverage this time around, just like his coverage last time, was suspiciously just like Britney Spears' coverage, okay? And honestly, maybe he didn't need to be committed by then. But the fact that there are people around him mocking him and threatening to do it again, somebody he employs, again, we have to ask each other. One, there's so many questions I wish Kanye would answer. Stop with this dumb rhetoric. I don't understand what's going on. Listen, I don't understand. What did Kanye think? This is a side note, but I'm going to get back to my point. What did Kanye think was going to happen when you literally attack a whole group of people? Did you think a whole group of people were going to sit back and take it? Did you? And even if they couldn't take you down, even if you couldn't fight back, did you think they were going to accept it? Where is your mind? Let me tell you what I think is going on with this, right? And which I still don't think Kanye knows what he's sitting on. And I'm going to reiterate and repeat myself because I still don't understand it. You have evidence of real wrongdoing, right? You don't understand what you have. I'm looking at the notes. You were institutionalized. People are mocking you. All you can talk about is that why are you going with that talking point? At one point I have to actually think, is Kanye his own worst enemy, right? The fact that you know that there are, let's just say, 5 people that you can call out and name, 5 powerful people in particular, that really are trying to take you down, that really are trying to blacklist you, that literally are threatening to drug you into oblivion because play dates won't be the same. And you posted set talking about circle. See, Kyrie was right. We are the original Jewish people. That's what you get out of this? That's what you get out of this Easter egg that God put in your lap. I don't understand it. You could have literally with scalpel-like precision literally ruined and taken down the 5 people that were actually using you, abusing you, and calling all this misery. But instead, and this really is Kanye's Achilles heel, and this is just my opinion, let me know in the comment section respectfully if you agree or not. Why didn't he do it? Besides the fact of Kanye proudly lacking emotional control, and I will always stand on the fact of, to be a CEO, to actually not just creative, but to actually run a company, you need an incredible amount of emotional control. That is not to say that you don't have passionate emotions. That's not to say you're true. That's not to say that there's no emotion behind it. Emotional control is when you take your rage, your happiness, your anger, your hurt, whatever it is that is fueling you, whatever that overwhelms you, and you strategically use that to energy to get to your next move. Every CEO has incredible emotional control and discipline. Kanye mistakes that with people not having emotions, not living in their truth, not being passionate. No, it's taking that which could consume you, the fire that runs through you that could once consume you, it's taking that and it's funneling that fire into something that fuels you forward. But again, let's get back to the ego. He doesn't have emotional control, fine. But it's also that ego, that God complex that came out, right? Y'all can think it's cute. Y'all can do whatever. People can overlook God complexes. We all know where I stand on that, right? At the end of the day, Kanye just couldn't just get himself to admit that it was 5 people taking him down. He couldn't get himself to admit that the whole world wasn't against you. A whole race wasn't against you. It was 5 particular people that were drugging you, talking to you like you're trash, basically from what you said, holding you hostage, and even getting you institutionalized, where now it appears that, much like Britney Spears, it wasn't needed. But Kanye can't get past his ego to admit that it was just 5 people. So he needed to turn into a whole mass conspiracy, a whole race, a whole this, and we saw what unfolded. Again, I do have questions for Kanye, because since he opened up this and kind of stepped over it, like he didn't even know what he had, like that was normal. I have questions for Kanye. Let's go back to the attempted conservatorship of Kanye West. I actually really doubted that was a complete story, because I'm like, if that was the case, why would you still be with Kim and Kris? But now we see that after that trainer illegitimately, according to you, institutionalized you and had you doped up to oblivion, right? You chose to keep him on. You chose to keep him employed. The 5 people that were going out of their way to do exactly what you claimed they were doing, you still employed them. You held them close. You did whatever. The Kardashians are still there. You got up on TV and said you're always going to be down for Kim. And listen, that's your boo. Your boo. I don't know if she feels the same around you. Do what you want. But again, this draws questions from Kanye. How did you allow this to happen? Mr. Everything was a choice, because keeping that trainer employed was a choice. Seeing that there were no charges filed against anybody that moved against you wasn't a choice. Why is he so readily accepting this treatment? To the point of he doesn't even realize what he revealed in those text messages. You guys, there's a lot more digging to do. I do wish Kanye would actually give us some answers, or at the very least focus on the 5 people that are literally going against them, and actually get some answers about why he continues to put himself in this situation. Anyway, my little Tattle Tells, let me know what you think in the comments respectfully, and I will talk to you later.